What is good, guys? It is Reed and welcome back to another video. Today I got something super special, something really awesome. Today we got not one, not two, but 3 different forces, and specifically some Riffle force variations. Now, I love the Riffle force, one of my favorite forces, so I'm going to show you a few different variations on it just to get your brain flowing with some new ideas, maybe something you like a little bit more than the Riffle force, and it's always good to have more forces. A couple of these are pretty unique, one you might have heard of before, but without a doubt they are all useful and all great. Now, it's been a while since I've been in front of the camera shooting some new videos. A lot of the ones that have been coming out recently are backlog stuff, so forgive me if I'm a little bit rusty. We're also, as you can see, in a little bit of a new setup. It's actually an old setup and we're back here. I'll be here for a few months before I move again, and ultimately that should be where I settle down and finally get to build an actual nice, permanent studio, which I haven't had yet. Also, just before we jump into the video, I just want to let you guys know we got something super special, something really brand new, really big for me coming very, very soon. I'm not gonna quite say what it is yet. Just putting the finishing touches on it, but it is going to be awesome. Going to be a big next step for me, a big new chapter. This is just a small part of it. I'm going to give you a hint on, and if you follow me on Instagram over at RF Sleights, you can also see maybe a few hints on what it is, some behind the scenes, but I'll give you one right here, and this is just a small portion of what it actually is. But yeah, here is your little hint, and that's all you get. Anyway, that's just a small part of it, but without any further ado, let's just get into the video. 3 different Riffle force variations. Alright, so the first one is called the crisscross force by John Bannon. So this was created to sort of allow you to do the crosscut force in the hands, and it sort of is a Riffle force variation. So let me show you what it looks like here, and then we will get into the explanation. So I'm going to run my finger down the deck. The spectator will call stop wherever they want. They can stop here, they can stop here. Wherever they call stop, we'll take half the deck and flip it face up. And they can see that all the cards are different. They could have chosen any of these cards, but they stopped right here on this one card. And of course, it is the Jack of Hearts. So that is the crisscross force. So it's quite simple. There's a few nice little subtleties going on, but essentially what you do is you're going to hold your deck regular mechanics grip, just like this. You're going to riffle down the side, move your index finger underneath and bend the deck so you can get a nice riffle. And you call stop wherever they want. I like really to emphasize here that it's their choice. They can stop wherever they'd like. Make that really clear. You can even say, make sure I stop where you want. It needs to be exact. Don't let me try to cheat, try to force anything on you. I always like to say that because as a layman, they are not too concerned about this until you put it in their mind. As a magician, of course, we're watching for that Riffle force action, but if you do this now and then you cleanly cut exactly where they say, it just makes it all that much more convincing to a layman. So I'll emphasize that. They'll call stop whenever they want. Then what you do is you're going to come over top of the finger, the index finger, and you're going to lift up, and then the middle finger is going to come down to this packet, and you're going to swing with the index finger this packet over into the left hand, and then you're going to take the packet with the thumb and the middle finger and flip it over on top. Okay, so this is actually the bottom packet that you flipped on top, and the top packet is face down underneath. Now I should mention that the card you want to force starts on top of the deck, so in this case we'll use the Jack of Hearts. So once again, you riffle down the side, and I like to have the right hand with the thumb on the back and the middle finger kind of resting here, just so we're ready to quickly place that index finger on this top packet and get straight into the swing. Okay, so we go through, we grab this and we swing it over, and then we just pinch it with the thumb and the middle finger and pull it away. So now our force card is here, and then instantly we're going to throw these over on top. Now your justification is to say, look, you could have stopped us at any one of these cards. You can see everyone's completely different, but you called stop right here, and you can drop that card to the table or have them take it, and it will be the force card. Another really nice subtlety is as we go through, we flip this, we go through saying these are all different, we drop the force card, and then we take this packet and we flip it over on top of where we just threw their card. So it gives the illusion that that card has just come from the middle. And each time it's going to be the force card. So body language on this, of course, you just want to be smooth, natural, have the motions down, just like that, one smooth action and get your force. And it happens nice and quick. So let's quickly talk about forcing multiple cards with this force. So let's say we wanted to force maybe 4 of a kind on different people or even the same spectator. So you'd start with them on top. You're going to go through, execute the force. Now, of course, you could just drop 1, 2, 3, 4 from that spot. But if we want to make this a little bit better, you drop down 1, and then you kind of bring these over top and almost do like a turnover pass and then flip the whole deck. And I like to do that because it still makes it feel almost like that subtlety, where it makes it feel like the cards are coming out of the middle, but you're kind of doing it like that. So now we're ready for another one. So we go through, swing cut, go like this, drop the card over, and do the move. So once again, we go through, do the crisscross force, go down to their card, drop it, and then I move these, leave them in a messy fan. You come over top, underneath you just pivot these. So exposed, you pivot them to the bottom and flip everything over in your hand. You're ready for another force, come through, drop it, and then now this time you can close, make it look like it came from the middle, and you have forced all 4 of your cards. So you can do that, and I really like forcing multiple cards in that manner with this force. The next force we're going to talk about is the golden force. This is from Roberto Giobbi out of Card College. It's a great force, nice variation on the Riffle force. So let me show you a quick demonstration of this force, and then once again we will jump into the explanation. So they can call stop whenever they want, here or even here, it really doesn't matter. We'll kick that packet over and place down the card they said stop at. And of course they could have said stop at any card, but they said it at the Jack of Hearts. How does this force work? Well, once again, the force card starts on top, which is another great thing about these forces. They start on top and there's no get ready before you go into your riffle force. So in this one, once again, same mechanics grip, index finger underneath, and we're riffling down the side. Now this time, what's going to happen is as we get to where they say stop, I really encourage you to emphasize that you tell your spectator to make sure that you say stop exactly where they want, and when you get there, offer them. Do you want to go one more? Do you want to keep going? Are you sure this is where you want to stop? Really emphasize it, and that's what will help sell this type of force. All right, because everything's so contained in a riffle force, it's not as fair feeling as this, so we really want to emphasize the fairness as we do the riffle. So they say stop here, and you're going to dig your thumb in to that break, and you're going to kick the packet over, and it's going to fall into your right hand. Now what you're going to do is you're going to peel off the card that's in your right hand and drop it, and then quickly take the left hand packet and use the index finger to lever it over onto these fingers and complete the flip all the way. Once again, giving that subtlety that the card came from the middle, and here you have force to the card. All right, so force card is on top. Riffle through, thumb is going to kick over where they said stop, and instantly you're going to thumb off that card. Then you need to extend these fingers a bit to use them as a bit of a ledge, because as you now extend the index finger to flip this, they need to be caught here so that these fingers can come and complete the rotation on top, and you have now completed the force. So that subtlety is really, really great, because of course you could come here, do this, and then just place these on top, and you've just put the deck back in order, but then it feels like where they take the force card from, there's not that subtlety of it feeling like it came from the middle. So I do like to do it this way, boom, and then flip these on top. Now it is a little weird because you do end up with the deck in the wrong hand mechanics grip, so you do have to get a little bit used to flipping this with the opposite hand and ending it up with it here, and you can just, you know, casually pass it back, or usually I would just set it down from this point. One thing you can do to avoid that, which you might like better, is to actually do this starting in the opposite hand, in your non-dominant hand. Now personally, I don't like to do this because it looks different than any other force I would do, any other type of riffle force, right? I would always be riffle forcing with my left. So to me, I don't prefer it, but it does help with the ending. So if you go like this now, jam this thumb in, do the force, this all feels much more natural, and you end up with the deck in your, you know, regular mechanics grip hand with the force. So up to you which one you want to do. So forcing multiple cards here, of course you could do this, and then, you know, place these back on top, and then go through and do it again and keep forcing cards the same way. But what you lose with that is the subtlety of this, where it makes it feel like where you just gave their card from came from the middle, because you have to take this and just put it back on top to keep your top stock. So one idea which I like to use is if we want to force, let's say 4 of a kind again, we do the golden force, and of course you could thumb off 4 here, but this is just different. If you want to do it this way, make it a little bit more convincing. So what you're going to do is as you thumb off the first card, you come back, and with the thumb you're going to riffle off just a chunk of cards, as long as it's more than the cards you want to force, right? And this is happening towards you like this, and now you take this packet and shove it in that break and turn everything over. All right, so now those cards remain on top. So at a bit of speed, you go like this, you thumb off the card, riffle back with the thumb, and place those what appears to be on top. Then we can go straight into another force like that, thumb off a few, put it back here, and we go into our final golden force, ending the regular way, and we have forced all 4 jacks. So really quickly, again, if you're only forcing 2 cards, this becomes a lot easier, but what you do is you do the golden force, and then as your hand comes back, you take this left thumb and you just riffle off a chunk of cards, and you know your hand's killed this way, but these are just going to come inside like this. And you go through, do the force again, and then you're going to do the same thing, boom, and it just looks like the cards are going on top. You come through, do the force, and again, you would take time between these. You do it on different spectators, each having them say stop, or even if you're doing it on the same one. But it's just a nice sequence. It keeps everything looking congruent, right? And then when you're down to 1 card left that you need to force, you can just slip it off with the pinky, making it a bit easier. So as you come back, you pull it up with the pinky, right? And that's hidden, and this looks like it's going on top, but really that card with the pinky is slipped to the top. And then you do the final golden force, and you forced the 4 jacks. So it's just an idea. There's several different ways to force multiple cards like I've talked about. You could just do them all in one go, where you go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's up to you what you prefer, how much work you want to put in if you're trying to force it with different spectators, different spots, whatever you want to do. So the last one I'm going to talk about in this video is like a swing cut force, essentially. Something that I used for a long time for actually a different reason, and I realized you could use it as a really nice force as well. So once again, let me quickly show you what that looks like, and then we will get into the explanation. So they can call stop wherever they want, here, maybe here, 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 wherever they want, and then we'll take that card exactly where they called stop. And of course, once again, we have the Jack of Hearts. So this is very simple, and you're probably sitting there saying, how does this fool anyone? But I can assure you it does. I use this for a very long time. So all you're doing, same thing, we're riffling, emphasize, make sure they stop exactly where you want. And now this time, it's very similar to the Bannon force. We're having the same grip, thumb on the back, index finger here as we riffle. The second they say stop, the index finger comes over and swings this packet. Now instead of turning this on top and doing the crisscross force, we're just thumbing off the top card that we just swing cut into the other hand and throwing everything on top. Now I like this one. It's almost a combination of the two because you have the nice swing cut, which creates that discrepancy, but then it's very natural to just throw this on top, making it feel like that card came right out of the middle. So it's really got sort of the best of both here. So you come, you swing cut, drop that card, and you throw it on top, and it's a force. Now the reason this works is because they feel like they said stop, and then there's this discrepant moment, and it is obviously discrepant, but it looks so normal and natural, and the swing cut is a very, believe it or not, deceptive move, and it just flies by every single time. What I used to use this for, which is another really nice idea, is for a key card. You can use this as a really nice sort of key card placement. So let's say you know the bottom card is a key card, or you know the top card, right? And you have someone pick a card. Now normally in a key card we might have them cut the deck and place the card in the middle, and for some people that becomes too obvious, because spectators are more aware of a key card, and if they cut the deck and they place the card they selected right on top of the deck or the bottom, sometimes they can pick up on that. So this essentially allows you to force that same position, but it feels a bit more fair. So if they select a card and I know my key card's the Jack of Hearts, I say call stop wherever you want, and we'll place your card back exactly where you say stop. So we just do the swing cut force, and they place it here, which ends up being right next to the Jack now. So it ends up having them place it right on top of the deck, but it doesn't feel like that. And I used to use that for key card all the time. That was my go-to handling. It's all in the hands, very, very nice. So now you can obviously use this as a force as well, and it's very, very fair, very nice feeling. Now, how do we force multiple cards with this one? Of course, like with all the others, you could simply come through, go 1, 2, 3, 4, and force those 4 cards. Now, personally, I would do that differently. I would come through, go 1, and then I would bring the hands together, but because you're coming together like this, you can just jam your pinky in there, right? And pass the deck really quickly to get those 4 jacks, or the 3 jacks in this case, back on top. We've already forced 1. And it looks really nice in performance. Let's say we're forcing to 4 different people. You come through, they say stop right here, you'd say, okay, let's give you that one. Now we'll come over here to you. Okay, you say stop wherever you want. This one right there, perfect. And finally, you say stop wherever you'd like right there. And we'll drop those 4 cards. And we forced the 4 jacks. So let me cover that in a bit more detail. So you come through, you swing, do your force, and then as you bring these together, you just go straight into a pass. So as you come together, the pinky sticks in there, and these fingers come over top and just pull this packet around. The nice thing is there's no heat on you at this moment. The card's already placed down, so you really just come through, do the force, come back, and then even you know, a good idea to distract them is say take a look at your card, and as they do that, you just do a nice and slow pass. There's no need to rush, you don't really need to hide it, and because this feels so fair, you can just go into the next one, come back, pass again, and go to the last one and force all 4 of those cards. Alright guys, so that is it for me today on this video. 3 different Riffle Force variations. I hope you like them. Let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite. Personally, the one I use the most would be that swing cut force that I showed at the end. My favorite, I love the crisscross force for some reason, but I don't find myself using it a whole lot. I just love the mechanics and the subtleties on it. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys like in the comments down below. I'm doing a bunch of filming today, so I got a bunch of special videos in the works. Just a quick note, I had a 2K subscriber special video, and I had a little poll where I wanted you guys to decide what kind of special video you wanted me to do to celebrate, and what won was a super special 2K subs tutorial. So I finally planned out exactly what that's going to be. It's an effect that I hold extremely close to my heart. I've never taught before. One of my best effects, something straight from my working repertoire, and it's going to be coming in the next week or 2. It's a little bit late, but I needed to take some time to decide exactly what I wanted to give back to you guys. So it's an awesome tutorial of my effect I call Mental Image. You can find that, some performances of it on the channel, so be ready, that's coming soon. Also gonna have some special announcements, as I mentioned, maybe a giveaway soon, stuff like that. So make sure you stay tuned, you hit that subscribe bell if you're not already, and if you guys need help on any of the material or anything like that, just send me an email, rf.sleights@gmail.com, and we can set up a private lesson. I've been having a lot of fun teaching you guys, and they're going great. We can really go through a lot when it's just one-on-one, myself and you guys. So I want to thank all the new subscribers for subscribing, and all the old ones too, of course. Welcome aboard. And with all that said, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.